Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, was a philosopher who believed that true education went beyond the mere acquisition of knowledge. He emphasized personal virtue, self-control, and the development of wisdom as the cornerstones of a well-rounded education. In this short video, we will explore Zeno's ideas on education and how they resonate even today. For Zeno, education was not just about learning facts, but about preparing the individual to live a good and meaningful life. He believed that education should be focused on cultivating the mind and the soul, not just acquiring technical skills or superficial knowledge. Zeno said, "The goal of education is not merely to pass on knowledge, but to shape one's character and build virtue." To him, true education helped individuals align their actions with nature's rational order. He believed that human beings are not born with wisdom but must actively cultivate it through constant learning, self-discipline, and self-examination. One of Zeno's key teachings was that education should focus on developing virtue, which is the highest good. In Stoicism, virtue is defined as living in accordance with nature and reason. Zeno didn't just want his followers to learn about virtue, he wanted them to live it. In fact, he argued that to know what is right and not do it is worse than ignorance itself. He taught that the student should strive for wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation. This was not to be learned merely from books, but through practice and reflection. Education should help each individual become their best self by shaping their character and guiding their actions. Zeno also placed a significant emphasis on the role of emotions in education. He taught that emotions, particularly negative ones, should be controlled. For Zeno, this meant that education had a psychological aspect. It was about training the mind to recognize harmful emotions and replace them with rational thought. According to Zeno, we cannot choose what happens to us, but we can always choose how we respond. Thus, in Zeno's view, an essential part of education was learning to master one's inner life, controlling one's desires, and maintaining tranquility, regardless of external circumstances. Zeno believed that education should be accessible to everyone, regardless of status, wealth, or birth. In his time, the privileged were often the only ones with access to formal education, but Zeno advocated for a more egalitarian approach. He encouraged people to engage in philosophical discussions and the pursuit of wisdom, seeing it as a universal right for all human beings. He famously said, "A good soul and mind is more valuable than any wealth." Zeno's teachings about education are not just limited to ancient Greece. His Stoic ideas continue to inspire many today. Education, for Zeno, was not just about knowledge for knowledge's sake, but about shaping individuals who could live virtuously, with wisdom, calmness, and integrity. As we reflect on his ideas, let's remember that education is not a mere acquisition of facts, but a lifelong journey of personal development. The goal of education, according to Zeno, is to equip individuals with the tools to lead a virtuous, rational, and fulfilled life. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of Zeno of Citium's philosophy on education. May we all strive to cultivate wisdom and virtue in our own lives, as we continue our own educational journeys.